I thought there weren't that many to begin with. It's so
Maybe 10.
interesting. Okay.
Like we know all the Chinese. That's why I know the number.
Yeah.
And then my stepfather is German, and he is actually I don't know how to call it. It's not the leader of
Pastor.
Yes, but he doesn't have the official certificate.
Okay.
But it's similar to pastor, but you need the certificate.
What is it called in German?
Gemeindeleiter. It's like the leader of the church.
Leader of the people, the community. Yeah.
But he's not a pastor. My uncle is a pastor.
Oh.
So it's my cousin.
That's so interesting. So how does like one of the two Asian families in Regensburg adopt Christianity that heavily? Because we did it too. This is, my mom is still very Christian. Like like every time I go back to Vancouver, she drags me to church. She's a little more respectful of it now, but and like it's just stuck with her. So I think it's more of a community thing than a religion thing, isn't it?
I think it's also for religion.
Yeah.
For people who really believe. Like, of course, they started to go to church because they want to find something that belongs to them, or they feel like they could belong there. And then later on, it turns into a belief. That's how I think everything starts. Like, nobody goes to church because I already believe in God. It's like, I want to get to know it. Once I know it, I actually like it. So I believe in it. And that's
exactly how it happened, I think. Like, as you're saying that, I'm just imagining my mom. That's exactly how it happened.
Yeah. I mean, like, when I grew up, I was going to church every weekend.
Me too.
And I stopped going to church when I was 16 because it was legal for me to choose.
Wow.
Because I went, I tried, I didn't feel like I belonged there.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother to try longer or whatsoever. But I mean, if you feel like you belong there, I think it's a community thing, right?
Yeah. You have such a more noble reason than I do. Mine was just American football played on Sunday. I wanted to watch. Fucking ruin football every time. So I was also raised. It's so fucking crazy. So when we moved to Vancouver, one of the first things that my mom did was, dude, you have to understand this. This was 2000. Okay, no Google, right? No GPS, no smartphone.
You look at newspaper.
She doesn't speak English.
Okay.
Like I gotta ask my mom this. How the fuck she found the one German church in all of Vancouver? I remember when the first time it was like halfway across town. We had to take like 2 buses and a fucking SkyTrain to get there. That is an incredible feeling talking to you about and understanding this. I never thought I'd meet another Asian Christian who grew up in Germany. Honestly.
Okay.
It's
I mean,
really
like
cool.
People, like when they move to new places, they feel like kind of lost, alone, whatsoever. They're looking for opportunities to get involved.
Yeah.
So,
but like, it really
for
stuck
elderlies,
with her.
it's easier to start in communities.
She wasn't that old. My mom was like 38, when she did this. Yeah.
I think the older you get, the harder it is to make friends. Especially like for us, it's easier because, we have the opposite. We're young. We can meet friends in school, at work, etc. But for elderlies, I think it's difficult. Even for me now, when I go to a new company, it's also hard for me to find new friends because they're colleagues to me, not friends.
Right. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah, it's definitely harder to make friends the older you get. I guess church does that. I didn't know that this was another Asian thing, because Germans are actually very religious, especially down south, right? Like when you think about this like super left wing type of German that a lot of people like, that's only in like Berlin. Right, especially in Bavaria, people are like religious as fuck.
They are. They're all voting for CDU.
Yeah, is that like a German Trump? Yeah.
No,
is there a German Trump? No. Sorry, sensitive. Too soon.
AfD, I would say.
Okay.
But I don't know much about them, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm not very involved in the German politics at the moment.
Okay.
I don't live there.
Yeah.
Like you have to kind of live there to be really involved in the what's going on in the political word in Germany. If you don't live inside Germany, it's hard to catch up.
Is Germany like would you say Germany is a political people? Like you see what's going on with the US election right now.
Yes.
People are like, this is consumes the fucking nation. I feel like in Germany it would just be like, yeah, this is the right person. Everybody just vote, everybody gets a day off, we're done. No news about it 24 hours after.
Yeah, because you can make it into
it's efficient.
Like a show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
as it should be.
Are really political, to be honest. Like
apolitical or political?
Very political.
Okay, yeah.
Like I even already have the feeling when you go to maybe 5th or 6th grade already, you talk about politics.
Interesting.
I don't think in other cultures you do that. To be honest, like I don't know if you do that in US because I've never been to school there, or I never talked to a 13 years old kid to like ask about their opinion about politics or whatsoever. But if you talk about politics nowadays to a 13 years old German, they can tell you about why they think like this.
Yeah.
Whatsoever, what is going on at the moment, why they think this regulation sucks, or
I have heard, and I also think that this is because of what happened with World War II. And I think how Germany has handled it has been very, in my opinion, positive. Like they confronted the problem, which was a lack of education, a lack of prosperity. Obviously, the whole fascism thing is terrible, right? But underneath that were people, they just had pain points. And I've only talked to one German person about this once, and he just said like this is just something. Politics in Germany is just a very educated subject, like educational wise, and like how it affects people and da 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 da. And you confront your history.
Yes.
Right. You don't run away from it. And
because you learn.
Yes, but very few countries. I'm not just like very very few do that.
Would admit about the challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea why it's like this.
Dude, people think when you say the word Hitler to a German, it's like saying the N-word to a black person, and it's not like that at all. Like and once again, I've only talked to one other German person about this, but their general consensus was like, yeah, I don't want to have this conversation. It happened, and we learn from it, and you move on. Which I think is probably the right thing to do.
I think it's better when you tell the truth and you know about like what really happened in the past instead of wiping it or like forget about it whatsoever. I think a lot of history in China or in US, they are not really mentioned
everywhere in the world
because they are afraid to admit about their mistakes. I think it's kind of wrong actually, because history made how we are now and how the society is thinking.
Right.
It's really heavy the topic, I think.
No, I like it. I'm sorry, we can change the topic. We can talk. Cheers. I like it. I mean, what? Sorry, I was just thinking how you communicated that and how you expressed that was so German. Because we talked about World War II as if your ancestors were not involved with that, right? Like you guys went to Germany post. Well, when did you go to Germany? You said when you were in like grade 7 or whenever, right?
Grade 4.
Sorry, yeah, grade 4.
But like, for example, my grandfather, like from my stepfather, they're German.
Oh,
yeah. So he was in Poland
and
all this stuff. So happened. I mean, I didn't really ask my grandpa what really happened because I was so young also, but if he also passed away a few years, like many years ago already. But if I had the chance to ask him now, I think I actually would, just to get the feeling about how these generations are thinking. Like,
do you think he would tell you?
Why not?
Over a podcast, maybe?
Well, he passed away already, but I mean, they were quite open-minded as well. And I just want to understand, like, okay, for them, it's even crazier because they came from the war, post-war, and now it's like a total different world for them. So
yeah,
it
that
could
must
be
be
really
nuts.
interesting to kind of like see.
That would do
because I know they're not really proud of that they went to war compared to a lot of people in other countries.
No,
I think been to war.
I think very few people in their 60s and 70s are proud of war. Very few, I think.
Yes.
Because war is terrible.
Yeah, but a lot of people they would also brag about because they've been to war. But I think for that generation, they're not. They just like said, okay, it was really sad. They don't even want to talk about it.
Of course.
It was so sad.
Of course.
Heavy topics.
No, Junya, fuck you, man. Thank you for this. When else am I gonna get to talk about this? Thank you. That was beautiful. Like I said, we can talk about like Lego or whatever you want. You know, I could do 30 minutes on Lego with you. That's a really cool way to explain. I completely forgot you had a stepfather who I assume you're close with, or what I was saying earlier is just watching you explain this. I feel like I'm talking to a German person, which I think I am. Like, if people were to ask me whether or not I think Junya is more Chinese or German, I would be like, I'm 100% German. Yeah.
I understand all the German history because I went to school there.
Yeah.
Then
that's what you were
taught.
Chinese
history, because I think Chinese history, a lot of things are hidden.
Are you a big history buff? I didn't know that about you.
Yes and no, I would say. I mean, the basics, okay, I know, but I wouldn't get into the details or whatsoever. Yeah. But I have a lot of different friends from different countries. I do talk about a little bit about history and just to get the feeling about how much they understand about the culture. Because I think culture is quite interesting to learn.
One of the things we're doing, excuse me, not for this podcast, but for the noodle shop, is we are trying to cross compare things back then and now. So, for example, art.
Okay.
Right, and this is once again a cornerstone reason why we're doing this entire thing is I think China and Asia in general has such a rich history of art, music, culture, dance, even sport, even right. There used to be a really rich history, and somewhere along the way we lost that. Somewhere along the way it came to be about loading up your kids with dance class and English class and what they get on their gaokao. So I would like to contribute to a movement that kind of promotes that and highlights that, because I think that's really fucking cool.
Yes, I understand what you say, because I went to Chinese university here. I went to Jiaotong. So when I talked to my Chinese classmate that time, I thought they were really not open-minded because they just basically tell you what they learned from the books.
Sure.
What the Karl Marx told him to do, what's written in the book, what Mao Zedong did, great, whatsoever.
Sure.
It's not really free thinking.
Yeah.
Germans are about free thinking. It's like, okay, here's the fact that happened. Okay, now you think.
Yeah.
What you want to believe in.
Right.
You want to make it better, or you want to stay the same, or you want to make it worse. It's totally up to you.
I think Germany's done such a good job of it, though. I don't know if it's like guild driven or what, but like I think if you look at what Germany has done and the steps that they've made, it's been such an incredible change in so many ways, right? Like financially, like as an economy standpoint, that thing went from, people don't understand is Germany was broken pre World War II, like broken, divided, right? Like it was kind of like how China was around the same time, probably as well, right? Or just after World War II. And to see where it is now, like that's a really incredible change.
Yeah, I think so too. We are all working for a better future.
Is that a German model? Yeah. It's like when you fly into Frankfurt, we should sell that to Tourism Germany. Yeah, we own that copyright now. Yeah.
No, but I think in every culture or every country is the same. We want to make it better.
I don't think so.
But it depends on like how the education brought you, or how the environment teach you what does better mean for you?
I really don't think so.
Okay.
I think in most places people are just trying to survive.
Okay.
And so, surviving means something very different to every person, but just they're not. I don't think most people are thinking about making a better future. Their future, but like in a very myopic way. 近视眼. But more people should think that way. There should be more Germans. The world would be better off if there were more Germans.
I don't think so.
I think so. It would be much more efficient. Dude, they've done a great job, right? Germany should send one president to every country of Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
They should rule Europe.
Boring too,
yeah.
right?
No, it will be efficient. I think it'd be good.